You know, I mean, I had to fight really, really hard to get this band on a bill with Nirvana, Dinosaur Jr. in 1988. And had we sucked, we would not have been able to open for Sonic Youth at the Whiskey next time. Had we sucked, so on and so forth. I mean, it's just a thing about, you know, may whoever write the best songs win, regardless of what their hairstyle is, or
there was no celebrity,
or the persona, or whatever. You know, I mean, if we can write Led Zeppelin 4 meets whatever else, you know, then we can, you know.
Well, do you feel like you've climbed this mountain? You know, when you, in the beginning, when you just want to be in a band, for goodness sake, and just make music.
And be as big as the Pixies, because that's what the rules were back then.
And of course, you totally eclipsed being bigger.
Well, that's because of Kurt. I mean, you know, the whole agenda back then was to be as big as the Pixies. And the biggest you could possibly was probably Jane's Addiction, but nobody even thought that way. Big as the Pixies was kind of it. And then with what happened to Kurt, it just like all of a sudden became like, oh, you sold $250,000? Failure. Whereas before, that'd be a great big thing. So now you really need to do platinum, or else it sucks. And that's really kind of a sad state of affairs in some way.
You will never stink so bad. Whoa! I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. I should have looked at it.
I guess that is the same way then you would view your own material, though, that you see this jagged edge, but you still think there's a pretty side to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of, it's a lot of like violent stuff on top, but it has a lot of melody underneath it. You know, we made this record and all of a sudden people are like, it's so extreme, it's so violent, but we didn't really know. We just thought we were making like a pop record with an edge, really. And, but we didn't know, because like, where do we live in LA? Like the metal capital, and there's nobody really that relates to us. It's not like we live in Seattle or something. Position you know what I mean? And like, I mean, I got a letter about 6 months ago from a girl, and she was like, I want to start a band, what should I do? And I wrote her back and I said, you should find the 3 biggest bitches in your town and start a band. And yes, she did. And they opened for Nirvana last night in Seattle, okay? It's like, it makes me feel so good.
Levels, I think. You've got Courtney's media blitz going on, but then you have what's happening for you musically, with, you know, bonding, creating, going forward, even disintegrating maybe. But how hard is that to keep together as an entity while Courtney is playing it at a higher stakes level, at a media level too? Does that put undue pressure on you?
I try to take that and bring it to this.
She's the celebrity punk, and we're just and we're the celebrity punks.
Are you playing the game at that media level for the band, or for maybe another reason, or?
For 2 reasons. For the band, and for films. That's the reason I do some mainstream media. It's for films. For Hollywood stuff, which is just an interest of mine, but not one that would interfere with the band. We'd break up if we sucked. And you know what? You wouldn't be interested in talking to us if we sucked.
Oh.
You know, and nor would you say you want to slag me off. You would be interested in slagging me off if we truly sucked.
Seemed to be relevant certainly 5 years ago. Is it still relevant, the idea of bands getting together for a summer festival?
Yeah, for me it's still, I guess, about community, be it audience or band members. Always just be entering that kind of atmosphere, which is not the same as going to a club show. Yeah. Eric has something to say about the corporation stuff.
The last few years, I think it's got a little bit more mass oriented, mass consumed oriented, kind of like more corporate, more. It wasn't as alternative as they would have liked, I think, and I think this year it's all the bands are a lot smaller, I think, and a lot of people went, you know, like Offspring or Live or, you know, the big crowd pleasers, but this bill is a lot different than that, and I think that makes it it's bringing it back to its roots, I think.
Feel a sense of potency right now as an entity, as a whole.
Absolutely, Mojo.
Yeah.
We take our
MOJO.
vitamins.
That's why we don't break up. If the whole Courtney thing was, you know, if we sucked, if we broke up, I'd just be Liz Fair. I'd quit. I'd be like a potato. I'd be boring as hell. You know, I wouldn't have a good rhythm section because I'd have to pay them, and then our heart wouldn't be in them. So, you know, the band is in the best shape it's ever been. You know, too bad I've lost some of the innocence. Haven't lost it all. I wish I still had that same Beatle, you know, we can be the Beatles kind of innocence I had when I was like 19, 17, 18, 19. But I still have it to a degree. I mean, I know I can use that celebrity power or whatever it is to make the divide close. And, you know, when we go on stage, it's incredibly potent. Very potent.
We're all feeling it,
You know, not
definitely.
to spout any rock cliches, but yeah, it is.